We're into a new year and a new series with Gemini Carp Tackle. Last year saw us team up with each other to hunt a UK 40 pounder, which, as you know if you watched, Pete absolutely smashed it out of the park. But this year they've pitted us against each other in the very first Gemini Carp League.
This league's going to be a really easy concept.
Across 6 different sessions at 6 different venues.
It's going to be an accumulative weight throughout the sessions, and the person with the most weight at the end of the year is going to win £1,000 cash.
Not only that, the biggest fish at the end of the year will also win a £500 cash prize, meaning that in total, Gemini Carp Tackle could be giving one of us £1,500 by the end of the year. Any bream caught, the weight of that bream will be deducted off of our cumulative total at the end of the year, meaning that a dreaded bream could actually cost you a lot of money.
So technically Liam could be in the minuses by the end of this year. But all the best. May the best man win.
I intend to.
And let's show you where we're fishing today.
Spring has finally arrived, and the first episode in this series brings us to the beautiful Cromwell Lakes, home of the 30s and 40s, up near Nottingham. What a venue it is.
We arrived nice and early this morning, as the system here at Cromwell Lakes is first come, first serve, and we did want to get some good pegs. Luckily it's not too busy at the moment, and we did do a few laps of the lake, and we actually landed the pegs we wanted. So we're going to go down there now, show you what pegs we're on and how we're going to tackle this session.
We've opted for pegs 4 and 5 this session. Like Pete said, they are the pegs that we wanted when we did the walk around, and luckily the people in front of us didn't choose them. We've got a really strong safe westerly blowing into our end of the lake for pretty much the duration of the session. It looks really good for it. The only thing that we're not too sure about is whether the fish will be sitting on the back of the wind or in the wind, but with the sun shining, the temperatures rising, we're hoping that they start to move on this wind.
Peg choices throughout this series is going to be very simple. We're going to alternate, just to make it a bit more fair. Save one person keep winning challenges and always getting that first pick. We're just going to take in turns, and Liam has kindly let me go first. So I've opted for peg 4 and Liam's in peg 5. We're just going to start setting up now, and it's starting to get warm, so we're itching to get out there with a little marker rod and see if we can find some spots ready for this session.
So we're all set up now, but in typical carp interest fashion, we're not at all prepared. Pair of noddies. I've still got to respool my reels. Pete's got to pop to Asda and pick up a pillow because he's forgot that.
Gives me a chance to go and pick up some more snacks, some more supplies, you know, I'm getting a bit hungry. Might eat out, give you a little head start, you know, you might need it.
Well, I'll have to wait for you to get back, won't I? Competition's got to be fair.
Nah, to make this competition fair, mate, I'm going to have to fish with one rod. So my approach to this session, as you've seen earlier, I did a bit of leading about trying to find a spot. Couldn't really find any such gravel spots that was going to present itself as somewhere to fish. I was just getting the odd patch, but then I couldn't get back onto it. However, in front of me seems pretty clear. Bit of silt here, bit of silt there, so nothing to worry about. So my approach, I'm going to put a little bit of a baited spot out there and put all 3 rods on it tonight. Currently got 2 zigs sat out there whilst I've been tying my rigs. It's been like quite a warm afternoon, so I think to take advantage of this weather, I've gone with 2 zigs to start. But I will be changing those tonight onto a baited area, which I'll put about 3 kilo of boilie and half a kilo of pellet with some liquid food. But we'll go into more in tactics tomorrow like we always do on the day 2. This day is just about setting up, and I'm going to pop down to Liam, have a little bit of a social, see how he feels about this session and if he's feeling confident. What's going on down here then? What are you doing?
Right, so I thought with this southwesterly blowing in, and it is absolutely hacking in here, it's really warm, the fish have got to move on it, so I wanted to find a spot a little bit closer in. I've casted the lead out there. There's a little bit of a weed bed. Just at the back of that, there's a really polished off, nice hard spot. So 5 3/4 wraps just at the edge of that tree line. I'm going to catapult some boilie over the float now. Got about 11 foot there. It looks perfect. So hopefully that may well be one of the spots that produces the bice. Oh geez, there's dust in my face. It's not what you want at all. Oh, my eyes.
So we persevered with the zigs all day whilst we was getting our rig set for the evening and for the rest of the session. However, they're both reeled in now. We're gonna have a little bit of a social, but we're gonna get our rods out for the night. I've opted for 2 Ronnie rigs and a solid bag. I'm gonna have 2 Ronnies on the spot, and I'm gonna have a roaming solid bag and see if I can get myself on that scoreboard tonight. So, all 3 of my rods are out, ready to go.
My turn now. So my plan, 2 solid bags, 1 on the baited area, 1 out to the maximum my swim can take, and then I'm going to persevere with the zig through the night. I don't often do it, but I've got an adjustable on there and I'm going to stick it to about 5 foot and see if that could be the tactic that gets us a nice bite. Second rod, got a silver birch on the opposite bank. I'm aiming just left of that.
All our rods are out now and we're going into the first evening of this series. How are you feeling about it?
Excited, definitely excited. I mean, the venue itself is absolutely stunning. The staff are so friendly, it's unbelievable.
And the grounds, literally, it's a stunning lake.
Yeah.
It's kept well, and I'm interested to see what happens over the next few days.
Yeah.
But as far as the series goes, I had a little question for you. Because obviously we're doing 6 sessions over this carp league,
Yeah.
and with an accumulative weight. What do you think your accumulative weight is going to be at the end of this series? Sorry.
See, we do know every venue that we're going to be doing this
So you
series.
can kind of gauge whether you're going to catch, if you're going to catch, you're going
That's
to be
it.
big,
So
or you're going to catch, yeah.
we're probably not going to let you know until the end of every series where we're going next, but with that in mind and the venues we've got to fish, it could go one of 2 ways, couldn't it?
What would we do? Let's have a guess.
Some venues with big fishing, but there's also some venues that there's a good chance of blanking. So I guess I'm going to say I'm going to say 145 pound, mate.
Yeah.
Total.
Okay.
I'm quite conservative.
I think I'm going to go 210.
Yeah, I think it could be. It could be.
210 and 145. Be interested to see what it actually ends
I
on.
think in my head, I'm thinking we've got a couple of venues that are definitely blankable.
But there is some there.
There is some that you
absolute
can.
units.
Yeah, there's some that if you do get one, you could definitely knock a big chunk out of your tally. So
You know, we might put a dent in it, you know, over the next couple of days here. Some absolute units in this.
we could. There's some absolutely, but we also could end the series in September on 0-0.
Yeah, minus with a bream. Yeah, well, we're just going to enjoy the rest of the evening. You know the drill, we're just going to have a chill, and if we don't have any fish for the night, we'll see you in the morning. Is that the kettle, yeah? Oh, music to my ears. So we're into the first morning. The scores are currently 0-0. I'm feeling slightly less confident than I was yesterday.
It was a quiet night, but I think, again, a little bit expected. We was hopeful, but not expectant, and that's how it's panned out.
I spoke to some people who have fished this lake before, and they've all said the same thing to me, so I'm going to adopt that tactic today. All it is pushing my rods a bit further out to that pylon.
Well, I think I'm going to utilise the bait boat. Pete's only just found out that I've bought the bait boat, because I did keep it a secret from him. The rule for the competition is that we must follow fishery rules. You are allowed to use them here, so I'm not breaking any rules, but I hadn't told Pete that the bait boat was with me. With a bait boat, I can sink the line, I can put a little parcel of bait out there, and I do think that might be what pinches the fish.
Yeah, and as for bait boat this year, because I used it quite a bit last year, I'm going to try and go the whole series without using a bait boat and purely casting this year. And it'd be interesting to see the results. So a little bit of a test in there, see if it does increase bites. It should. It's a game changer really, but I'm going to try my hardest not to take my hand and use the bait boat. But yeah, enjoy these biscuits, cup of tea. We're going to sit here. We've got a great view of the water now, just to see if we can see any signs, which is going to help.
See the whole lake from here, can't we?
Literally see the whole lake. We've got that wind still coming in. It's coming more directly at us this time. It's still a bit cold, but I think when the sun's out, it starts to warm up.
It's starting to warm up from this morning. When I come out first thing this morning, it was bitter cold, but it's already started to warm up. So
it's that time of year and this type of weather, but that's all we can do.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of us can get onto the leaderboard. Hopefully me. But it would be nice to see a fish on the bank.
We've got the leaves coming on the trees now, some nice buds. The clocks go forward tomorrow. The summer is finally coming. Light nights, warm weather, big fish, come on. You know what I've just realised?
What?
We haven't set the tripod up. Positive mental attitude from the last session, remember?
Oh, the stitch.
That's why we've blanked. So far, we've blanked. Positive mental attitude, I've got to get this tripod set up. It worked last time, you laughed. It's in the middle here, under the tree. Sorted. Now go.
Never mind.
Give it a minute.
Was that you or me?
Yeah, me.
Oh.
The thing is, I'm going to need your help with the bait boat with clipping it up, but you're going to need to film it as well, aren't you?
What?
I'm going to need your help with the bait boat because clipping it up.
You're going to need my help in head to head? You're
You're going to be filming, aren't you?
I'm going to help you win some money.
Yeah, don't be like that.
You're joking.
Don't be like that, we're friends.
I'll tell you what, I'll land it for you, I'll catch it for you, you have it.
We're friends, aren't we? But it's a friendly competition.
Yeah, friendly competition with like potentially 1,500 quid on the line. I'll help you do your bait boat.
Oh, f you then, I'll do it myself. As we said, it was a quiet night, but I'm feeling somewhat confident with the tactics that I've got going on in my brain for the rest of today.
I'm still hopeful. Once I get my rods out on that spot at 27 wraps with a bit of bait over the top, I'll definitely be sat there a little bit more confident than I am now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident. We put the marker rod out yesterday and I'm happy with the spots I've found. I had a good half hour, 40 minutes leading about. I found some spots that are definitely fishable and that the fish visit frequently, I'd say, with how hard there was. So yeah, I'm confident. Like you say, it's not an easy water, but
Liam Maker over here.
No, it is what it is, ain't it? You got to do what you're confident in doing, and that's why I've stuck with the solid bags. I'm not a massive caster, so this afternoon I'm going to put it out with the boats, like I said earlier, with the boat, and hopefully that little bit more accuracy will swing it in my favour. So we're going to wait for Pete to finish up his cup of tea and then we're going to head back round to the swims, get the rods back out for the afternoon because the bailiff did tell us that it's predominantly daytime bites on here, so we want to get them rods back in as quickly as we can, and then we're going to go through the rigs and the components that we use in this session. I'm using something this session that I've not used yet out of the Gemini Carp tackle range, and that's the fluorocarbon leader. Each leader is 85 centimetres in length with a 45 pound breaking strain. At one end you've got a fused loop. It's created using fluorocarbon fused bond technology, making it stronger than any conventional knot. And at the other end there's a size 8 quick change swivel. Setting up the leader couldn't be any simpler. You'll need a baiting needle just to get the lead clip over the fused loop, and then that'll pull down nicely into the size 8 ring swivel. The reason why I've decided to use this session is because you saw me baiting up that spot just to the side of that willow close in yesterday, and it's just over the back of a weed bed. So my thought process is that this is going to lie over the weed bed, pinning everything down, and my rig end will be nicely presented on the bottom of the lake. But all this needs now is steaming to get it nice and flat and straight, and it'll be ready to go out there into the lake.
So we're back in the swim now. Liam's just sorting out his 3 rods for tonight. I'm about to do the same. However, I've just launched out 2 zigs. I think Liam's put a zig out for the time being whilst we are doing that sort. But I think at this moment in time with this weather and wind, it's probably the best way to catch a fish. They're not really going to be on the bottom at the moment, I don't think. They're probably in the upper layers. So I've got one out at 7 foot, one out at 10 foot. Liam's on the adjustable trying to find them. But whilst they're out fishing, gives us time to sort out our rods ready for the night.
The method I've chosen to deploy on 2 of my rods is my favourite tactic, the solid bag rig. This is a really basic blowback rig. I've got a size 6 wide-gaped Gemini hook there with the OG fish match the hatch wafter. Each tidy stem is made with a fluorocarbon insert. These offer a 45-pound breaking strain and super friendly for the fish. The flexibility means that when it's in the net, it's not going to damage or lift any scales whatsoever. This attaches to the rig really simple using the quick flex swivel and the neoprene connectors. That's my solid bag all tied up, ready to go. Just need some liquids injected into it, into the bait boat and out onto them spots. Hopefully get myself on this leaderboard.
So as you've just seen, that's Liam and putting his 3 rods out for the night. I've still got those 2 zigs going. Still hasn't let off the wind, but Liam says it should be dying down about 6 o'clock. So it should just give me enough time to get the rods out for the night on the spot where I want them. Briefly, I'm going to show you the 2 rigs that I'm going to use on the spot. Both the exact same rigs. They are the Gemini Carp tackles, Tidy Boom, the Ronnie rig, and I've got a small park about 10mm OG fish pop up on the top. I've got these and I'm going to put a little bit of bait over the top, not too much, and hopefully tally up some score on that board. But that's that for now. We're just going to currently look on Just Eat and search the local takeaways to try and get a pizza here because we're both very, very hungry. It's been a long day and we want to get a little munch on. So yeah, we're going to start investigating where we can get some food from and we'll catch up with you a bit later on.
So the pizza's come, we've ate it, but what an absolute faff that was.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 2-hour wait. By the time we got it, it was cold. So I've ate half now, but at that moment in time, I had to get my rods back out because we was losing light. So now we're sat here in the dark. I've ate half a pizza, but I've got all my rods out and they're on the dance floor and I'm happy. So we'll have a bit of a chill, probably pull the other half out and we'll probably have a little snack if you're feeling hungry a bit later on. And talk about how many fish we've caught.
Should we just wrap it up there then?
Or the fish we're gonna catch.
Well, yeah, we might not have caught, but the fella next door to me in Peg 6, he has had one this afternoon, so he hadn't been here long and he's dropped it with a bait boat and caught one, so £33 I believe, which has definitely boosted my confidence.
Definitely boosted the confidence a little bit. First fish I'm aware of in the last few days.
Yeah,
so
definitely. And he told me it came to a Gemini tidy boom.
There we go, we're in then.
So the temperature's definitely dropped. It's borderline Baltic now.
So hopefully it pushes them down in the water.
Yeah.
So I ain't got no zigs on now. I'm all on the bottom. 2 Ronnies, 1 solid bag. I brought the solid bag in a little bit shallower, about 10 wraps, and it's about 6 foot, I believe, from the map. So, you know, something different.
Yeah, but we're gonna pack this away now. We'll do a nightly update just before we go to bed. But for now, it's just gonna be chill. And with the very last bit of light that we've got, we can still see the water, see if we can spot anything. Look at the size of me.
What do you reckon? That guesstimate you did earlier,
What's that? Oh,
your
mate.
cumulative weight by the end of the series?
What did I say? 100 and...
You said about
I was quite low, weren't I? You was high.
145.
145 did I say? 146, something like that.
Still
Yeah, I'm
fit?
still confident after this session. Yeah, I'd got a couple of blanks down in that. That's why I'd guessed as low as I guessed. And this was one of the ones that I'd got down as a potential blank. So, yeah, I'm still confident. 146 is a doable task. What about yourself? You went high.
It was 145, wasn't it?
I think I went 146. You'll have to watch back the footage.
Nah, I'm sure you went 145.
I might have done, but I thought it was 146. Watch back the footage. I'm sure you could probably put it in now, actually. I'm going to say 145 pounds, mate. What was it you said? You was over 200, weren't you?
210.
You think you get him on tonight?
I'll get one tonight off the lung chucks.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I'm confident. They've been dropped there. I think there's a few people told me that peg 5's the going peg.
We're going into the second night. We're both feeling slightly more confident than we did the first night on some different spots, so hopefully get some different results. Definitely want to be trying to get on the board before the end of this session, because going into session number 2, both on £0, pressure is on. But just before I get to bed, I've got the Response Masters 2000s ready. I've opted to swap the Adidas sliders for the new convertibles. These are going to be lodged next to the bed chair, hopefully in a response to an alarm. So hopefully I get to use those tonight. But yeah, it's going to be bedtime for me now. Just going to stick the iPad on, watch a bit of YouTube before I go to sleep, and we'll catch up with you in the morning. I'm up at the crack of dawn. It's just gone 6 o'clock. The sun is just starting to rise. The water's flat calm. There's no wind. This is the optimum time for me to get my bait out on that spot as accurate as I can. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to top it up, ready for today. Ready for that day bite anyway. So yeah, just get some spoms in. Nice and accurate. No wind. Happy days. Fishery rules are boilie, pellet and corn only. So I'm going boilie and pellet. I've got the OG fruit and nut. And I've also got the OG fruit and nut mix pellets as well. And I've soaked them in a bit of water. And then whilst that was happening, I chucked in a bit of mini mix pellet just to give it that consistency. So whilst I'm sat behind some motionless rods, I thought I'd take up on the time to talk about the lake we're fishing at. And if you haven't heard of it before, it's Cromwell Lakes. It's a beautiful 18-acre spring-fed tree-line specimen carp lake. It's set in the peaceful surroundings just off the A1 in Newark. The lake depths vary from 3 foot all the way up to 18 foot. The bottom is not uniform, so there's different areas to fish on. You've got gravel bars, you've got silty areas and drop-offs. So it's worth getting your lead out there and finding a spot where you think the fish are going to be holding up. Quick chat with the bailiff the other night. I can't remember the figures exactly, but I think they said there's over 300 fish. There's 940s, I believe, to be going at, and there's about 65, 70, 30s. So, you know, if your rod does go, there's a good chance it's going to be a big fish. Another added bonus to this fishery, they provide all the nets, sling and mats. So not only do you not have to bring them or bring them around the lake, they're on the peg ready for you, ready to use. The fishery itself is gated off. You have to buzz in and out, which gives you that bit of security. They've got a lodge near the entrance, which all anglers can use. Nice little setup. You can make yourself some free cup of teas, coffees. You can use the fridge, store some food in there. You can charge your bait boat batches up or any sort of charge your phones if you need to. The pegs themselves, they're amazing. They're gravelled out, they've got sleepers, they're a perfect carp angling peg. So now I'm just going to start looking at getting my rods ready. I'm going to start going through a bit of my rigs and what I'm using out on that spot, and we'll talk over that a bit later on. Right, so the rods are out, bait's over the top. Next thing is brew time. Right, Liam. You got the kettle on?
I ain't, mate, no, why?
Why not? It's morning brew time.
I was just thinking.
Calf master.
about sticking it on.
What's that?
I was just thinking about sticking it on.
There we go.
Yours broke or something?
Mine never works.
Huh? When was the last time you made a cup of tea on the bank?
It's because you got a better kettle, ain't you? You have got a better kettle.
What constitutes a better kettle?
Used and got that tea taste in it already.
There's only ever water goes in the kettle, no tea goes in the kettle.
True. You got a better cooker. You got a better cooker, ain't
Or
you?
you're just a lazy.
You do better. You make a better cup of teas, don't you? You got something hanging on your rod.
There was a twig over him when I got back to him last night from being in the middle. We had to get the net and knock a twig off and must have fell off one of the trees.
What's that on your other rod?
What?
I know it ain't a fish.
How many you caught?
None yet, but now I'm on that spot, I'm feeling quite optimistic.
Well, I feel the same. I'm pretty sure I saw a fish about midday yesterday, and then when Gizzy the bailiff come down, he said he saw a fish in a very similar area to where I've now moved my right hand rod. So
Tough going, but like I said at the start session, I'd be happy, be over the moon with just one fish from here.
well, there's not many kind, of the one that's come out. I think everyone's struggling, so it's that tricky time of year. The fish don't really know what they're doing, whether they're coming or going. So
yeah, got some new anglers coming on today, so hopefully get some moving around the lake if they're holding up somewhere.
yeah,
Get them into that middle of the lake where I am.
that's where we want them.
Whoa, what's going on here? What's going on here? You had a coffee?
Nah.
You sure?
Right.
Looks like a coffee, yours does.
It's a proper cup of tea, that is, bro. You can keep your horrible, stinky, milky water.
Proper tea. Go on, get his line, get his line.
No chance. That's sunk, that is. Rod tips in the water, proper dangler. So I redid my right hand rod this morning. Moved it off that short spot that you saw me finding on the first day. I moved it off there. I don't know what it was. I woke up this morning, first light, and just a bit of an instinct thing. Get that rod back onto the spot that I put a bit of bait on the first day. So that's what I've done, 18 wraps towards a Christmas tree on the far bank. Put that out with a bait boat this morning. I had to have a bit of a...
Is that the right rod you're talking about right now?
It's the exact rod that's just bleeped a couple of times.
Has it been bleeping?
No, it's the first bleep I've had off it since it's been out.
That'd be nice.
It would be nice. But anyway, I had to fight the swans.
Yeah.
Because the swans chased my bait boat out this morning.
That was funny yesterday, watching that swan pick out that guy's bait
Yeah.
boat. What, is you feeding them here, was you?
I had to feed them up the side of that tree. I just
Yeah.
went and chucked an handful of pelleting on the stones here so they could reach them, and then I come back round and quickly got the bait boat out. But they clocked it on the way back and had a quick look in there, but luckily I dropped everything out on the spot, so they left me alone.
So just going to take this small amount of time now to talk about the rigs I'm using. As you know, I'm fishing 27.5 wraps to the pylon, and because I'm fishing that distance, I've opted for Gemini Carp Tackle's tidy rig in the form of the Ronnie rig. There's a couple of reasons why I'm using this rig. The first one and foremost is because I'm fishing distance, cast at distance. You know it's going to be kicking away from the lead and presenting, so you're not going to be tangled. The trusted Ronnie rig is always going to reset itself after a aborted take, and it will stay out there presented for as long as I need it. The second reason why I'm using them, I'm feeling slightly lazy this session. They do come ready-made. I literally only have to add an anti-tangle sleeve to the rig and my choice of pop-up. Couldn't be any easier putting this rig together. You take it out the packet, add the anti-tangle sleeve, add the pop-up of choice, and then you move down to the putty and you use as much putty as you need. I'm only using a little bit of putty this session just to pin it down to the ground. Just a few key points that you should know about these booms. They have a 30-pound braking strain. Again, the fuse loop on the end is used by using fluorocarbon fuse bond technology, so it's stronger than any conventional knot. All the booms at the Gemini range come with a light refractive index of 1.42, so when it is out in the lake, it's near enough invisible. So with the tidy rigs, they come 2 in a packet and they come in various options. They're all 7 inches in length, however the hook sizes differ from 4, 6 and 8, and they come in micro barbed and barbless depending on what venue you're fishing.
What you got there then?
This is last night's pizza. I think it's actually warmer than last night's. Still good pizza, but you know, but I preferred it a bit hot.
Shame in it, 'cause it is a nice pizza. It just come like it had just come out of the freezer.
Yeah, I weren't happy. I expected better. Still got a fresh garlic dip though. That is the one. The wind is definitely back. It started to pick up about half an hour ago. The bivvy's taken a bit of a battering. But I don't know, I'm just starting to think that it's just not going to happen. Nice stormy conditions here at Cromwell Lakes. Looks perfect for a fish. Big chop on the water, big wind into us. It might not be the warmest wind, but it's still a wind, and apparently they do follow the wind on here no matter if it's cold or warm. So I didn't think we were too far away from them, but I've just got another zig out. I've got 2 on that spot, and I've just rolled a zig round at 10 foot just to see if they are in the upper layers, but nothing as of yet. I might leave a zig out all night tonight, and I might chop it down to about 7 foot, so it's somewhere about mid-water, so I'm not too far away from them. But just losing a bit of hope, and I'm already thinking about catching on the next session, because the pressure is just going to slowly build up through this session and then through the series until you get your first fish. But come on the carp.
Two of my 3 rods have been out now for over 24 hours, so I'm a little bit torn. I'm stuck in limbo about whether I refresh them or whether I leave them out there. There's not much happening across the lake. It's not like fish are getting caught. I don't know if maybe just leaving them out there and not touching them, let the fish gain confidence, or whether to redo them, freshen it up. I'm stuck. What would you do in this situation? It's not like the lake's having it off and everyone's catching fish, but yeah, I'm gonna listen to the football in a bit, and I'm gonna make a decision. After the football's finished, I'm either gonna redo them or that will be the rods for the rest of the session. That chop in the water is causing absolute havoc. Splashing water up over the side of the boat, and there's every chance it'll melt the bag, so I'm going to try and put a big clump of pellet right over the top. Like that. Handful of the OG fish, just a few. Send that out ready for a monster.
So, little afternoon update, it's 4 PM and the pegs opposite Liam, in pegs 11 and 12, they've had 2 fish and they had them pretty close together. So the wind is absolutely hacking down that side of the lake now, so it just shows they might be following it. Liam's just done all of his rods again, fresh baits, all out in the bait boat, plenty of bait in there. So I don't think it's going to be long before he might get one. We're closing in on 6 p.m. The sun is about to go behind a very dark cloud and the wind is about to pick up in about an hour or two, up to gusts of 35. I don't know what kind of effect it's going to have, but it's the last night. I reckon we've got about 15 hours left. I think we've got to be off by 9 o'clock. Last chance saloon. Otherwise, as it stands, the leaderboard is 0-0 on the first session. Hopefully it's not going to be a tough year. Last year we had a good year, we caught quite a few fish, some big ones as well. Just got to hope we can carry on with that fashion.
This might come as upsetting news to some of you, but Bankside Burger is no longer. We're scrapping it off, but don't worry, we've got a new concept this series. Pete, do you want to explain?
Literally just put our heads together and we've come up with a new concept, and it's basically going to be, you're going to comment below suggesting meals we attempt to cook on the bank. We'll look for all the comments and we'll choose either a funny one or an interesting one or one we actually like. So get your comments below on what you think we should attempt to cook next session.
It's going to be fun, this. A fish tonight or in the morning could be a very important fish going forward in this series.
I'd love to get off the mark.
Yeah.
Leave you fretting for the next session.
I mean, I'd never threat. I'd thrive under pressure, mate.
I don't know about that.
I couldn't get the word out, but...
I don't know if I can hear it over them knees knocking.
I've got a little side hustle for you, Pete.
Yeah?
So alongside the Gemini Carp League, just a little side hustle for ourselves. If you can guess going into the last evening which one of your rods is going to go off, I'll do the same. And if one of us get it right,
yeah,
the other person has to buy the takeaway on the next session.
First fish?
The first fish. So if you call it, but you've got to call your rod as well. You've got to say, I'm going to have the first fish on the left rod.
Can you say none?
Pardon?
Can you say none?
No.
So if I say none and I don't catch, do I win?
No, you can't say
so
none.
I've got to guess a rod?
You've got to guess a rod. And if neither of us catch, then it just rolls over to the next session.
Oh, which one was that on the spot?
So what have you got? Run through what you've got. You've got your zig on
I'm
your...
just working them out. I'm going to go left rod.
Left rod, which one's that? So you've got your zig on your right rod.
And Ronnie on two on the spot.
Ronnie on the spot, and you think your left rod's going to go. Your left Ronnie on the spot.
That's what I'm putting my chips on. What about yourself?
So I'm going to go... Right hand rod is a Ronnie rig. The other two are solid bags, so... I think my right hand rod. The right hand rod, Ronnie rig, over at that Christmas tree. I think 3 fish have already come out that sort of area of the lake, so if any of them are going to go, my money's on that one.
So my left hand rod, your right hand rod.
Yeah.
No cheating.
No.
Don't be knocking me up in the night and saying, I've got one, yeah.
Swapping the rods.
Swapping the rods over, just get a free bit of scran.
You see, I hadn't even thought of that. You had thought of it, which just shows what sort of a person you are. That's us for the night then. It's getting really windy now. It's mega uncomfortable being sat out in it. It's an early one, but we've got to get up early in the morning, so we're going to call it a night now. You'll either see us in the morning or, with a bit of luck, through the night with a fish.
Good morning, final morning, no fish to report. Last night the weather was absolutely bashing my bivvy to bits. We had some really strong winds yesterday. The alarms was beeping throughout the night every now and again. It was quite hectic. Sadly, it wasn't so hectic on the fish front. I'm all packed down now. Liam is literally still in his bivvy. He's still got packed down, but I'll go up to him, speak to him shortly. I think we've got about an hour left, so not much hope of getting one, but the rods will be staying in until the death. We both really enjoyed our time here at Cromwell Lakes. The venue itself is absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful lake, stunning surroundings, it's really well kept, nice solid pegs. Staff are super friendly and helpful. It's been a joy to be here, so a big thank you to Cromwell Lakes for having us. We really enjoyed it. We'll definitely be coming back at some point. I'm trying to pop up to Liam shortly, make sure he's out of bed and he's all ready to go. We've got about, like I said, we've got about an hour left. Come on. Well, it's the final morning. Just made my way up to Liam's peg and the weighing tripod has fallen. Morning.
Morning.
Has that weighing tripod fell over or has it been kicked over?
I'm guessing the wind's blew it over, but if the wind hadn't blew it over, I'd be kicking it over. Because that's supposed to be our lucky charm. After the last session. But it's not been lucky for us at all this session, has he?
No.
It's been a struggle. So that's the end of the first session, the first in the series of this Gemini Carp League. Unfortunately, it's very much looking like a blank. The odds are still in, we've got the last few things to pack away, but we're going to get the outro done now, explain where we go in the next session so that we can pack the camera away.
So the next session you join us at Thorpley. We did it last year, we had a few fish, so hopefully we do the same this year just to get these leaderboards up and running, because at the minute the leaderboard stands at 0-0.
It was always
make it a bit more interesting, hopefully.
It was always going to be a tough ask coming to Cromwell Lakes first, the first session of the series, but we had such a good year last year. We've not blanked on a Gemini video for a long time, so.
But we have got another couple of venues with potential blanks, but we have also got some lakes out there that we could probably get a big hit of fish, so hopefully that keeps things interesting and the scores fluctuating.
Yeah, but thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
And follow us on to the next one.